when I have an expectation that I'm going to bring the best of me forward, have fun along the way, and not be attached to a specific outcome, that's when I succeed. So how can Travis, any CrossFitter, or anybody for that matter, be able to have that expectation they're going to perform without being tied to an outcome? Because that's the key. So, and the thing is, there's no one size fits all for anybody who does this stuff. It's finding your way. It's finding your way forward. It's finding your triggers to what sends you spiraling downward, so that you can mitigate them, catch them in the act, and then pick a different course of action. Hey everybody, Ian here. I want to talk about expectations in CrossFit because I just finished watching a TTT podcast with Travis Mayer and talking about expectations and how the expectations ruined his weekend because of what he thought he could accomplish.
There wasn't a doubt in my mind that I wouldn't be like top 5. Like, yeah, that was guaranteed in my mind. I was like,
I just feel
I'll
like
go and take top 5.
The expectations can be like the ruiner of all good things. You know what I mean? Like it's such a dangerous game.
That is 100% what happened, because it made me not enjoy anything about this game.
Yeah.
If you want me to be honest, I hated probably every minute of being there.
So what I wanted to talk about here is, how do we rein those expectations in? How do we use expectations for their highest good and not attach ourselves to that as being the result that we need to have for us to be happy? Because ultimately that's what it comes down to, right? How can we do the best that we can and not let that other stuff affect us? Because, and he said it himself, when he is performing his best, he's having fun, he's joking around, he's being a goofball, whatever the case may be, that's when he succeeds. But when he starts to put too much pressure on himself, that's when the shit hits the fan. And I have to admit, it's a similar experience in my life, right? When I'm having fun, when I'm, being jovial or goofing around, that's when I'm having the most fun. If I can relate this to a golf experience from last week, I mean, I haven't played a whole lot of golf this year, so I can't expect myself to be super good. But 5 holes, 6 holes in, I'm only 2 over. I'm going, man, this is going to be the best round ever. And then within that next hole, everything fell apart. +4, +3, +2, lost ball here, lost ball there. It was a nonstop shit show from there. And then I walked out with a 95, and it was like, blah, what a horrible round. But when I'm having fun, have zero expectations for a certain number or something that I want to have happen, that's when everything comes down. That's when the joy happens. That's when the magic happens. That's when I perform at my best in golf, in my coaching work, in CrossFit. When I have an expectation that I'm going to bring the best of me forward, have fun along the way, and not be attached to a specific outcome, that's when I succeed. So how can Travis, any CrossFitter, or anybody for that matter, be able to have that expectation they're going to perform without being tied to an outcome? Because that's the key. So, and the thing is, there's no one size fits all for anybody who does this stuff. It's finding your way. It's finding your way forward. It's finding your triggers to what sends you spiraling downward, so that you can mitigate them, catch them in the act, and then pick a different course of action. So if you can identify what that is, what's your trigger? What sends you down? Is it a no rep call? Is it a judging decision that you don't agree with? Is it your own expectations that then get you to spiral in your mind. Oh, here it goes again. Is it when you say, wow, things are going so well, when's the shoe going to drop? What's the trigger point for you that sends you out of being present and going forward and doing what you got to do to focused on something else? So then you lose your concentration on what you need to accomplish. What's that thing that sends you spiraling? If you can identify what that thing is, you can head it off at the pass, or you can create strategies for when that thing happens. So what am I going to do when I get that no rep? What am I going to do when I see I'm losing ground? What am I going to do when I notice that I have now lost focus of where I am and what I'm doing, and I'm focused on something else? And the thing is, this may not be something that you can manage in the moment. It may not, like at this present time. First, we need to become aware of what needs to change before we can make that change. Like, okay, if I'm an alcoholic, I have to actually recognize that I'm an alcoholic before I can start to do something different about it, right? So even though Travis isn't an alcoholic in this situation, his problem is I first need to recognize I have a problem. He's done that. He knows that he gets off track at some point and then shits the bed and doesn't perform the way he wants to. And then he feels bad about it and he drags it with him the remainder of the competition. So for now, this is a reflection exercise. So after the event is over or the weekend is over, rewinding your tape back to that point where things shifted for you, and ask yourself, actually, this is what I like to do, because when we are thinking about what's happened to us in our life, we often kind of mix up what we've made things mean and the actions and the facts that have happened, right? So somebody cuts me off in traffic, and I flip them the bird, and then we start getting in a stupid road rage kind of back and forth. Well, guess what? I've now mixed my emotion with the facts that have happened. So if I can circle back, look at that, and then pull them apart to get a sense of what the facts are, what happened versus what I've made it mean, I can then decouple the two, and then I can focus on what happened and now what am I going to do differently next time. So in that case, somebody cut me off in traffic, I flipped them the bird, things escalated. Okay, what actually happened? This person cut in front of me closer than I would have liked. All right, that's what happened. I reacted emotionally, and then we got into things. Okay, so what did I make it mean that he cut me off? Well, my perception is that he cut me off, and that I think that that's disrespectful. It's dangerous. It's endangering the lives of the people in the car, and that is reckless, something like that, right? But really, what has happened is this person has moved in front of me faster than I would have liked, and I reacted. Okay, next time that happens, instead of flippantly flipping a bird at somebody, I'm going to peel back. I'm going to slow down. I'm going to let that person do what they needs to do, and the situation is de-escalated. And now I don't carry that animosity and that frustration with me all day and tell everybody about it. Like, I don't let it carry on through my weekend. And in this case for Travis, I don't let it carry on through my competition. So first you need to decouple what happened. I got no repped. I made it mean that I didn't work hard enough, that I'm not ready, I'm not prepared, things are falling apart. No, I got a no rep. I asked what I needed to do differently in the moment. Okay, I got to squat lower. Okay, great. I do that. I move on, and that's it, right? So it's learning how to create strategies for yourself by first going back in time, decoupling the facts from the story that you made up, and then identifying a new strategy for yourself the next time this happens. So you can incorporate this into your training. You can then you can instruct people to no rep you for no reason. You can instruct people to um, set a standard for yourself that is like out of the ordinary or different, or something that is going to throw you off, so that you can then practice the strategies, so that when the time happens in a real situation, you'll be able to adapt quicker. You'll be able to leave that in the past. You won't carry the emotion from that moment through and detract and wreck everything from that point on. And you can enjoy the moment. And then hopefully your next event, you don't carry through or carry over any of those things that happened from the previous one. So I know this is kind of a little bit rambly, but that danger of the expectation and being unattached to the outcome is super important. But if you can decouple your facts and your story from each other, then you have the ability to then dissect what you need to change and then to move forward from there. So I hope this was helpful. If it was, give me a like, give me a subscribe, ask me a question. What's your challenge within CrossFit that I could help you out with when it comes to coaching and the mental side of things? And I look forward to helping you out. So take care, everybody.